What are you saying? What? What are you saying? What?
Alright, you guys, I wanted to start off this video with that little clip of Maleah. So pretty. Just a beautiful, innocent soul. I wanted to start off with that so that we can remember why we are all doing this. And I want to apologize for my last video where I was cussing out Brittany. Girl, I couldn't take it. My name is Beautifully Broken for a reason. I'm extremely beautiful, but sometimes we all can be broken. And finding out the things I'm finding out about Maleah's story has truly broken me. And it's not just her. Like I said, there's too many little black girls dying at the hands of their mother's neglect and the men they choose to bring into their homes. So I want to discuss Quanell no longer representing Brittany, and I want to go over his statement. And I also wanted to talk about Brittany's half-sister, Natasha. She did an interview with Tanika Nikki News. I'm not a girl who lacks discernment. When something does not add up to me, I will question it. So we're going to get through these questions. And these videos is to just get information out there. And maybe I can answer some questions for you. And you can answer some questions for me. So let's start off with Mr. Quanell's statement. And right now, Quanell, I want to play a game called Find the Lies. So, number one, you say Brittany confessed to me that she did help cover up physical abuse from the hands of Maleah's stepdad, Darion Vance. In this interview, I'm going to put a photo up on the screen. Y'all go watch my other videos if y'all want to see that clip. Your big beanhead ass sat right next to this woman and said she had absolutely no knowledge of what this man was doing. Now, lie number 2 and 3 will connect. Number 2, Brittany admitted to me that Darion had beaten Maleah so severely with the belt that she wanted to take her to the emergency room, but Darion told her that they couldn't because he was not going to take the fall. Not going to take the fall is in quotation marks. Okay? Going back to Natasha on Tanika Nikki News channel. She brought up that Brittany told her Darion would take the fall for her when a conflict occurred with Brenda and Brittany. Now, I don't understand why a grown-ass woman who does not live with their mother would have their boyfriend taking a fall. She did not elaborate. And again, don't lack discernment. Run over there right now and go listen to that woman say it out of her own mouth. Okay? So most people would think, the fall in the fall, clearly somebody's playing telephone, or Brittany's the one who's telling her that and telling him that. Now let's go to number 3. Because here where it all's, okay? Number 3, Brittany admitted to me that girl, I'm so sorry. Brittany admitted to me that the day she left for the airport, she discovered that Darion was sending nude photos of his private parts to another man. Now, on Tanika Nikki News channel, Natasha says that she's the one who told Q about that. But she says she told Q it was a woman, not a man. So Q then gets on that interview, sits right next to Brittany, and Brittany says absolutely nothing. And he spins the story according to Natasha and says that it's a man. Are y'all following me here? I hope y'all are. Don't lack discernment. Please ask questions. Number 4. I learned that Brittany was communicating with Darion through his brother by sending messages to give him while in jail. Again, you sat your big beanhead ass up there next to that woman when that man asked you that question. You said yes. We were communicating with the brother. Now I know for a fact your raggedy ass knew that day that she had contact with Darion. But you sat up there and you allowed her to answer that question when he asked her specifically, has she had any contact with him? And she lied and said no. You sat there and you didn't say shit. Okay, so listening to this interview in full and the pre-interview, we now know that Natasha was Q's mole. If you recall, Q has said in this interview, I'm going to throw up a picture, Brittany was surprised and shocked at the things we knew. She said, oh, how do you know that? How do you know this? He was getting information from her sister prior to that interview, and I believe she was giving information to Q prior to her sister even giving her Q's number. I'm gonna get to that. And for those who are gonna ask, well, how did she get Q's number before Brittany gave it to her? Q's number is listed on his Facebook. Okay? So let's go over the things. Now, I have all the text messages, and I was going to read them through and through, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go through what stands out to me, and if you guys have a question, I will post it in full, but what I will not do is leave out context. Okay? So going through these text messages, to me, it does not seem that this sister is concerned about Maleah at all. She does not get upset with Brittany until Brittany stops answering her questions. What Natasha is most concerned about is getting information from Brittany and going to tell it to, quote unquote, the net. People like me who want to know things. But my thing is, I don't lack discernment. So I don't give a damn about your story. If you tell me something and it does not sound right, I am going to question that. I'm going to follow up and question you, period. Let's move on. So we know that the fight story came from Natasha. But Natasha told Q it was a female. Q went on the interview and said it was a male, and Brittany just sat there. Okay, so another thing. Natasha claims that Brittany's mom, who she in some of these texts called a bitch, and after Brittany didn't want to talk to her anymore, she said, you're just like your mother. So I'm assuming, well, not even assuming, it's clear there, that there are some And she said this is based off of the things Brittany told her. But then again, I don't know, because now you're saying, and this is what she said, and please don't lack discernment. Go over there and check it out for yourself. Listen to everything in full. Don't lack discernment. I hate that. Sister said Brittany's mom called her and said she dropped Brittany off at the apartment on May 4th alone around 6:50 p.m. Now, that's the same night he walked into the hospital. It's the same night the woman said that she saw Vince without that knot on his head outside on the patio smoking a cigarette. Okay? And she believes that it was Brittany or someone close to Vince, and I feel like it was someone close to Vince who drove the vehicle, or it could be Brittany. She could be absolutely right about that. The things that I'm seeing about Brittany now, I feel like she helped physically kill Maleah. Anyway, my follow-up question would have been, you have not spoken to Brittany or her family for years. Now, mind you, in some of the messages, it looks like they had met for the first time at the funeral. But then when she's talking on an interview, she says that they had met prior to her dad's funeral. So why is Brenda calling you and telling you she dropped Brittany off at a place by herself, at the apartment by herself around 6:50 p.m.? Why is she randomly calling you that? There was no context about that. There was no follow-up question about why would Brenda call you and tell you that? I was confused on that. Next, and here's another reason why I feel like her concern was not about Maleah. Her concern was getting information so that she could give it to these blogs. That's it. She says she's asking Brittany. Now, mind you, I can't say let's erase what we know about Brittany, but let's just say it's not Brittany. Let's say it's a mother who just buried their father. Now, they are not close to this sister. This sister has never even met their child. They come back home, their child is missing, and the so-called sister is asking her for money, $400 for a fucking ticket to get out there to support her. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, am I crazy? Please tell me if there's something wrong with me. I really want to know. But I think that is just awful. Like, what? Why would you? I would try to raise money any other type of way to go out there to see my sister. All right. The sister also points out that there is a $10,000 fee for reward for anyone who has information leading to finding Maleah. She says that the family could have used that money so that Brittany could have been able to take her kids. And I agree with that. However, maybe they weren't, like you claim, as close to Brittany. And she also says that she has tried to call and there was no question about this, so there's no context. She said, I tried to call the people about the situation and they never called me back. So I'm wondering in my head, damn, ask her, what people? What is she talking about? Details. But there were no follow-up questions. So she claims that she was pushed away because of that. So we're only left to assume. And when we assume things, we make an ass out of you and me. And I don't want to do that, girl. Okay? So let's move on. But what I will say, and I never talk about race on my channel, but this has my blood boiling. In our culture, we won't go across the street to help our own, but we will travel miles to bury them. Remember that.